I think it can be a bit of a misconception that someone with psychosis hears voices, but I never have heard voices. I just see things that aren't there. So I think that's useful to know if you're someone who's experiencing it, but you don't have voices, you don't hear voices, that you could still be experiencing psychosis.
Yeah. So like when you hear voices, it's a really, really weird experience, you know. You know that other people can't hear it because they're not reacting to it, but you wonder why other people can't hear it. And you're like wondering where the source is, and you'll look around like where is this coming from, and it's impossible to really concentrate on anything else. And it's loud, and it's annoying, and it's intense, and it's hard. And it's not until you start to speak about them and learn coping strategies for them that you learn to manage them in a healthy way.
Because there's one thing you've got to remind yourself with psychosis, as catastrophic it can be, as bad as it can be, you go ill and I would say within, you know, a week and a half of being sectioned under that intense care, you do feel better. And that's what makes the management and treatment of psychosis quite interesting, actually, because your real game plan is reducing the regularity of psychotic episodes.
The spiridone didn't do much for me, really. It just made me feel worse, and it didn't do much for the voices or anything, but the Seroquel at first worked a bit, but it only didn't last very long. The effects just lasted like half an hour, that I didn't have all the voices all the time. Then it just wore off. But I was taking a lot of it, and it just wasn't powerful enough, to be honest. And the rest of them, well, quetiapine, I can't remember if I don't think it helped, but I can't remember totally. And Abilify didn't do much. It's the only thing that's helped really is time, I think.
Almost now I feel that if I get hallucinations and voices and they say, and they're trying to warn me stuff, and I just go, nah, I'm ignoring you, go away, that's probably not going to be that productive either, because they'll get angrier and then I'll get worse stuff. Yeah.
But no, with members of staff in general, there's been good ones, amazing ones, and ones that are truly like, you're like, why do you work in the caring profession? I've never met a person that cares less about other people. So some people have really bothered to sit down and try and work it out with me. And some people, they just don't give a damn.
When you've lost contact with reality, you don't need forced artificial interactions. That just makes it worse. You need some humanity. That's why early intervention psychosis services work so well, because they're just humans. They're not pretending to be some sort of super mental health nurse. They're just, yeah, let's go and grab a coffee and talk about stuff.